There's many videos on diesel heaters out there, but this is my take. So if you've made it to my video, happy days. I've already played with diesel heaters, whether that be on the main channel or this channel, but I've seen a lot of people playing with radiators for the exhaust to be extra efficient and save all the heat. Do they work? Let's find out. If you've seen any videos from the main channel, you know maxpeedingrods is a supporter of the channel, and it is fitting, I believe, to try out one of their diesel heaters. I have used many diesel heaters in the past, all different brands, all different sellers, and the Chinesian ones are all the same. Some people say bad things about them on the internet, but I have nothing bad to say about any of them. They're all good, in my opinion, but I've never tried a maxpeedingrods unit itself. So today we're going to find out. Now there's lots of kits out there. Which one do you buy? To be honest, any that's in your price range, because they are all exactly the same, or in my opinion. I have seen kits for around £80, £70. Obviously buying them in the summer is going to save a bit more money. But we're in the winter, it's freezing, perfect time to test it out and test out the radiator theory, because I've never done it, so we're going to learn together. I have got a digital thermometer to try out all the good stuff, but I have had a cheeky peek through this kit already. I believe this is about 140 quid. I will put a link in the video description. The reason why this one's a little bit more, and you get what you pay for, anything in life. It's a 10 litre tank. Now in this box is all the fitting kit, all the pipe work, and again, I've played with a lot of these, and the quality of the accessories varies wildly. So if you're going to pay 70 quid for a kit, the diesel heater is probably going to be the same, but the fittings are going to be better quality. That is the good quality fuel line. You got gloves, you got a very nice braided wiring loom with an updated plug, because on some of them these are massive bulbousy plugs and you have to drill a massive hole to be able to feed that through, and then you're left with a massive hole and a small cable. Doesn't look very good. Well, this has got a very small end on it, so you could drill a small hole and poke the cable through. You get the idea. Now, one thing that massively varies is the quality of the Jubilee clips. There is so many fixtures and fittings in this bag. I'm surprised I've always bought the cheap kit, just like you guys are looking at. This is a better premium kit. The Jubilee clips are really good quality, and there's a lot more fixtures and fittings. We've got some heat wrap. I've never seen heat wrap come in any of the kits. Obviously you've got your air pipe, your air ducting, and in this premium kit we have got the updated silent diesel pump. They're not silent, you can still hear them ticking, but the cheaper ones, they tick like boom, boom. You ever seen the film Captain Hook with the ticking clock? Well, it's a bit like that, it drives you crazy. These silent ones are a lot better. Premium hosing, they're so much nicer. Yes, it's 40, 50 pounds more, but after you've bought the 70 or 80 quid heater, you're then gonna go and buy better accessories. So you're not gonna save money in the long run. There's loads in here. I believe this is USB. No, it's not USB. I believe it's Bluetooth. I have no idea. We've got a very nice water filter separator. What's in here? Okay. So if you want to service your heater, take it apart. There's a little gauze inside on the fuel line that after a few years sometimes gets clogged up. I've never seen this. There's a new one in the packet. There's two new ones in the packet. There's a pick tool and spanners. I've never seen a service kit come with a diesel heater. That is why this one is 140, 150 pounds and the rest are a lot less. Premium exhaust, premium silencer, all sorts. Tank fitting, metal plate, instructions. Yeah, all good. So I have played with heaters. I mentioned it 5 times already. And I believe you guys have already watched a few videos. I know how they work. I know they're good. But today I really want to tackle putting the exhaust through a radiator and whether it works and whether it's worth the extra effort. I am going to crudely but effectively make a little bracket to hold the heater above the radiator. So we're going to roll a little time lapse. Let's get it. Well, that is it. It is a temporary testing purposes. Now, obviously you want your exhaust pipe, which the gases are expelled, a bit like the exhaust pipe on your car, you want those to go outside. You don't want them in your heating area that you're trying to warm up. It is good practice to have a carbon monoxide tester. I have one just over there, and I am going to put the extractor fan on, and we have the doors open. It's for testing purposes. As you can see, I haven't used any Jubilee clips. I've just pushed it all together. But this is just for demonstration purposes for the video. Now, this premium kit, as I've mentioned a couple of times, not only is it a filter, it comes with a water separator, or a water with a T separator, with another T, separator. The diesel pump, that can either be upright or it can be at a 30-degree angle. Don't have it laying on its side because you get air trapped in the top and then that shortens the life of the pump. I have got it lightly mounted. One massive thing I've found with these diesel heaters, the pumps tick really loud when they're solidly mounted. So if you've bought one of these heaters in a box, a big metal case, that diesel heater is going to be like a boom, boom going off. And that's because it's hard mounted to a metal case. If you put some rubber washers, or this is down to your discretion, I have mine hanging on the pipes and then you get no resonating from the ticking, but that is entirely down to you. With regards to power, I am using a car battery. It's a leisure battery that's sucked in. It's a battery. But when you first start them up, they do draw up to 10 amps of power. Once they're fired up to temperature, that goes down to 1 to 2 amps. So you can get a power source, a 12-volt power source. I'll put a little picture up about here. You get them on eBay for about 15 quid, and the recommended rated ampage I would get is a 15 amp. For testing purposes, we're going to use a battery, and I do use a battery and a low trickle charger on another setup, but it does say somewhere on the internet about not using a battery charger, but I have. With the fuel tank, we're just going straight in with the tank for now. Again, this is temporary purposes. This heater is actually destined to go in my T5 Transporter camper van on the main channel. So this is all demonstration. I believe we're ready to go. I did prime the fuel filter. I put another little hose on this side and suckied it up to the full, because a lot of people, they'll fire their heater up, they'll come up with an error code, either error 8 or error 10, and that's because it's taken too long for the fuel to get to the heater. So you might need to start it and stop it twice, maybe 3 times, depending how long your hoses are. I think that's about it. maxpeedingrods. It does come with a remote that works from quite a distance, which is very handy, or you can turn it on right at the heater. I've not played with this at all. This is first time for you guys. I will use the buttons on there. This works from a distance. On, off, up, down. Simple. I have also looked in the instructions and it is a Bluetooth model. I don't know how good it is. I believe, let's say your vehicle's sat outside, you could turn it on from indoors. How good's that? We'll play with that on the main channel. Now, without further ado, one of the two, let's fire it up. I'm going to press it once. It's making noises. Now, I might cut this down. It's telling me the battery voltage. It's only saying 8.1 volts. That ain't gonna work. I don't know if that's right. We're gonna see. Error 1 straight away. Boom. It's just talked to me. The display has just told me the battery is low. That is brilliant. I have never heard that before, because some people come up with errors and then they're questioning what they've done. If you come up with an error and you don't have a talking box like that, just Google it. Let me work out a better power source. That just spoke to me. Let's try that again. I believe we've got a better battery. And it does say, as mentioned, not to use a battery charger on your battery. So these two wires here coming off the battery are definitely not a battery charger. Let's try again, take 2. We saw that the button worked last time. Hang on. That talked to me and told me the battery was low. So you don't need to start Googling codes. Just pay the 140-ish for the maxpeedingrod setup and it tells you the fault. It told me. On. It's telling me 10.7. I'm pretty sure it's lying. I can feel it blowing in my face. The reason they draw a few amps when you first start them up is because there is a glow plug inside, and that glow plug pulls on the amps. Hopefully this one's going to work, and I've not got to get another battery. It's dead battery time. The cold kills batteries. It might be enough. I do have a couple of temperatures. So it's telling us it's 11.8 in here, not too bad. I do have another one. Here he is. Just heard the pump kick in. That is a very quiet click. And that is because it's the later fuel pump. Again, buy the premium kit. Don't buy the 80, 90 pound ones. Buy it from maxpeedingrods. And there is also a 10% off product code, DTE TV. Oh yeah. Now, I do have a Dewberry Firkin pointy temperature thing. Some of you may be thinking, why have you got the exhaust going in the top and not in the bottom? Because heat rises. Well, I have seen a couple of other videos, and it's more efficient to push the heat in the top pipe, then it has to work its way down through the heater and out the bottom. And with regards to exhaust, you need any exhaust gases to flow constantly downwards, because condensation builds up in these pipes. So if you start having the exhaust up high, you're going to get a water trap and it's going to be no good. I can see the display has gone black, and I believe that's for battery saving purposes. Maybe you could have that stay on. And before we've got any heat, the exhaust pipe at the top is 6.9, and the exhaust at the bottom, or the bottom of the radiator, is 6.7. Let's wait for this to fire up and see how it goes. Oh, I can see the diesel coming up the pipe. Again, it might fire up the first time. You might need to fire it up twice to get the fuel all the way to the heater. That is why I pre-bled the filter housing. Let's wait for it to start warming up. So, heater has been on for 5 minutes. I turned it up to maximum, I've let it run for 5 minutes, and now what I have noticed on these new controllers, that it reads in Celsius, so I take it that's a thermostat inside. Rather than changing the power level up or down, it's got a thermostat in it. I've just now set it to the lowest setting. 5 minutes later, I can feel the heat from the radiator. This corner is obviously going to be the hottest because the exhaust comes straight in. Now, in this corner, it's telling me 140 degrees. That is pretty toasty, but we have had it on flat out. Now, on the bottom, on the exit, it's still 5 degrees. Hang on, the exhaust pipe, 7 degrees. So obviously, if it's 140 exhaust temperature, Celsius, and it's 7 coming out of here, we are gaining all the efficiency. Rather than blowing the exhaust straight out into atmospheric and you're losing all that heat, we're now collecting that heat and reusing it. Does that make it 100% more efficient? 200% more efficient? I don't know, but it is toasty in here. And let me get closer. Can you hear the ticking? Very, very quiet. These later, quieter pumps, they are brilliant. Again, buy yourself the premium kit. I am loving this. I'm loving the extra heat from the radiator. All of it is hot. The first bit is hot. Obviously I can still touch it, it's not excessive. It's still warm. And the longer it's on, the hotter it's going to be. If you get a too big a radiator, it may only heat up half of it. This is a twin core radiator, i.e. it's got a passage on the front and a passage on the rear. You could use a cast iron radiator. I couldn't get hold of one. This is a poverty spec channel, so we've got your council house radiator. I do wonder if a single skin radiator would be even better. I don't know, because then obviously the exhaust gases would only pass through the outer channel, but the whole radiator has got hot. I'm going to let this run for half an hour and we're going to check temperatures. I'm only going to have it on the lowest temperature. I don't see any need to have it on flat out. That's red hot, that's red hot. We are winning. It's been about 20 minutes. Let's check what's going on. Let's turn the extractor fan off so we can hear what's going on. Oh, it is toasty and warm in here. And it is messy. This is your average setup. Tidy over there, messy everywhere else. This is real life. Let's straight away look at the temperature. It is 17.7 in here. Very nice. It's toasty. Let me set the camera up. Oh, it's lovely over here. The radiator is really nice. I have been looking through the manual. There is fault codes listed in the manual. So you maybe not, you might not need to Google it if you can't hear old problem solver. I did try to download the app. There's problems with the app at the moment, I do believe. I will put the link to the app in the video description as soon as it's working, because that would be really good. Sat indoors, fire the heater up if you're putting it in a van, or even if it's in your outside workshop. Now, straight away, the heater, I have got it, 5C is the lowest. I've got it on 12C. 30C is flat out. So I've got it on 12. Now, exhaust temperature, right at the radiator, is 80 degrees there, 86. And as we move along it, 70, 50, 50, 40. At this end, it's 36. Down the bottom, on the exit, it is 11 degrees. The exhaust pipe gets even colder. So if we've got 87 degrees, 89 up the top, and then we've got 11 degrees down the bottom, we are capturing normally what's wasted heat. You could have clothes drying on that. The possibilities are endless. That was only one scenario. Yeah, really happy. The heater, I can't hear it at all. Much. The ticking, very quiet. The maxpeedingrods, the better kit, yeah. It's the best kit I've ever used. And I've used maybe 10, 12 heaters. This is the best kit I've seen so far. I don't know anything about the display. I'm more used to the original display. so it would take me a minute to sit and play with that. The leads are long enough to have them away from the heater. You don't have it all bunched up in this temporary setup. I am really impressed, and I'm really impressed with the radiator trick. Obviously, I mentioned you don't want your exhaust going up, so you need your heater at this height. You can't have it down here and then the exhaust pipe going up, because you're going to have a water trap in the exhaust. It needs to be in the flowing downwards setup. Yeah, well, I'm happy I've tested it. I've seen a few people using the radiator trick, and I can definitely recommend it's worth collecting the extra heat. I have mentioned this heater is going into my T5 transporter. If you want to see that, that's on the main channel, DTE TV. But I believe that is a 10 out of 10 success rate. I'm really happy with that. If you subscribe to the channel, you're going to see random videos. One day I'm playing with a car, one day I might be playing with a motorbike, next day a diesel heater. The possibilities are endless. I am super happy with that. Remember, all links are in video description, and I will see you guys in the next one. I'm toasty. I'm out.